It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live on WBON TV and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse and join us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair and Nuevo Vallarta. And now let's go live to your host, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford. The Burford and Michael Watkins here with you on a Monday night. Lots of football talk to get into. Samantha, Kiera O'Shea, another state championship.
How exciting is that for her? That is 4 for her, 4 straight, and she's just a junior.
We're going to start the show off, though, with John Clark, the head coach at Madison Southern for right now. Coach, announcing before your all's game this past Friday that you're going to step down at the end of the season. First of all, let's talk about that decision and kind of what led to this decision and you know, the reason for you stepping down at the end of the year.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is my 11th year. I've been here for a long time now. You know, it's kind of twofold. We've started a business venture during COVID that put us into storage units, and it's growing really rapidly. We'll have 5 facilities by next May now, and it's really become a full-time investment and job for me. That's part of it. The other part is I'm just a goal-oriented person, and you know, I've been thinking about it for a while just because, you know, when I took the job, I made a list of 10 things I wanted to do, you know, 10 things that needed to happen to build the program, 10 goals that I had, and really have kind of set back lately and realized, like, we've done everything I came to do. And I think it's time for a new chapter for me, and I don't think it's a bad thing for the school right now either. I think it's a good time for some change there as well.
It seems like with COVID and with all the injuries and the pandemic and concussions, and then obviously this season you've also, you know, you had a loss of a lot of assistant coaches. Did that damper the mood? Did that put a nail in the coffin?
The loss of the assistants did not.
Okay.
I really like my staff. Now, there's not enough of us. Yeah. There's too few of us, period, to run a 5A program at the level we want. And I was very frustrated to not to be able to get more coaches in. But that's not been a concern. COVID has affected the kids. I mean, I'll tell you right now it has. I mean, we send them home and tell them don't be around each other, don't touch each other. Yeah. You know, we don't hold them accountable at a high standard across the board for a year and a half, and then all of a sudden we think they're just going to flip a switch and be accountable and dedicated and everything again. And it's going to take a while to get kids out of that. And that's not just at Madison Southern. I've talked to buddies I have all over the country. They're dealing with the same thing. Yeah. And other coaches in the building are dealing with, like, it's everywhere. So that was frustrating. I think, you know, there's some traditions we'd carried that I realized our kids in our school, I think, have forgotten in just a year and a half because of COVID. Yeah. And there's very much a feel like this season I was feeling like I'm having to rebuild things that we already did. And I don't want to do that right now. Like, I'm just not at the point in my career where I want to reteach everybody that's there at 6 o'clock at a tailgate, hey, y'all just missed Eagle Walk, but there's 40 of you in the building eating hot dogs. Yeah. You know, like, that's stuff we had to do in our first couple years. So, you know, when we're in the middle of Eagle Walk and the student section's over in the corner having a paint fight and they're not out there, I realize, like, we're just not all in the same groove we used to be. And I think there's a level of work to get it back to that I don't feel that's what I want to do right now.
You know, you look at
timing is an
issue.
Well, I feel like just the world itself right now. You got TikTok and Snapchat and video games, and just the way to even make money is different now. It's just there's so many different things that are out there, and I think you kind of forget what tradition or what lies within tradition. Have you seen that? Do you think, I mean, as time has, since you began here to where you're at now, and just the changing of the guard, if you will, with what kids are doing nowadays?
Absolutely. I've noticed a huge difference in the way the weight room's been approached for the last year and a half. Our program was built on a foundation of work ethic in the weight room. And I noticed when COVID hit, after that, it was never the same again. It is with 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. But very much that I should be sore the next day, that mindset of, like, pushing yourself to the brink in the weight room. It was almost like having to talk kids into that work ethic again. And that stood out to me right away when we came out of the quarantine time. It really took a while to get back to any sort of rhythm in the weight room, because how many kids do you know at this age that eat right, sleep well, sleep 8 to 10 hours a night. They don't do that stuff.
No.
And, for 10 years, we've been training them like collegiate athletes
to do that,
to be able to continue to progressively go that way. And it was like starting over again. It's like everybody was a freshman in the weight room again. And it's just, like some of the teams we're playing right now, I look at them on the field and I'm like, that's how we used to physically look. We don't physically look like those teams anymore. And I think the lack of the desire to be tenacious in the weight room changed during the pandemic, at least at our school. And ultimately that's on me. I'm the head coach. I've got to find a way to trigger that again. I missed that. I didn't think I was going to have to
who knew?
do that again.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know I was going to have to teach them the weight room again. I thought they'd come back and just fire into it. I don't think that ever really happened with some of them. It did. And so I thought it would with all of them, but some of them, I think, enjoyed the time off in the weight room a little too much.
Yeah. Well, it's
That
almost
would've
like
been
teaching them
us.
the basics again.
Yeah, it really
gotta
is.
just kind of, because a lot of times I hear that from coaches that at the high school level, the feeder programs are so important because you're moving up into the high school level and those basics have already been taught. It's almost like you're having to redo that again.
Yeah, and this was the smallest freshman class we'd ever had. There wasn't really much 8th grade football last year, and so there's just been a trickle down of a lot of things. And I think it's a good time for somebody else. Like here's one thing I know. We've built a good program.
Yeah.
And it's ready, and it's in place, and it's in great shape. We're not handing somebody a mess. Somebody's going to get a really good situation with it's been done well. It's great facilities. Like, the right person could be in a good situation here. So I think it was time to, rather than me try to start over with a group again, let's let somebody else do it now.
Well, you said you've been doing this 11 years here at Madison Southern. That seems like an eternity, really, because, a lot of coaches don't stick around that long at one place.
Right.
But let's talk about all the things that you have implemented in those 11 years.
Sure.
Think about, the football field. Think about the new building out front, or the entrance out front.
Right.
And, them carrying the flag, the Eagle Walk. You can name a lot of things, your entrance, all of it.
Sure, and I can't take credit for all that. Let's be honest, I've had job offers over the years, and I've really not entertained much of it because, and I've had people ask me, why are you staying here? Well, here's what I know. If somebody were to ask me what's your advice in taking a head coaching job, you can look at location, you can look at talent, you can look at history, but if you don't have administrative support, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And when I sat down with David Gillum that first time we talked, I had a list of 10 things. These things need to happen to change this. And when he said, in his words, I could check, I was checking off those as we went. When all 10 were checked off, I realized we can build something here because everybody wanted it. Yeah. It wasn't something I wanted, and they wanted something different. And that's continued for a long time. Having the right people in place, I don't make the decision to build those buildings. Do I push for that stuff?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes,
But am I the one that's signing off on that? No. And I never stopped pushing for what furthered our program. But there was always the support on the other end, even if it was like, hey, that's a big ask. It was never a no. It was always, let's find a middle and let's work together. We see where you're headed. We're all for it. Let's figure it out. And that's why it was easy to stay for me. And the kids were bought in.
Let's talk about some of the players. You've had some really good ones that have come through. You look. I know I'm going to leave somebody out, but Trey Livingood, Tobias Storm, Carter Smith, Landon Eads,
Landon Stacy. Nate Eads.
You had the Nate Eads. Yeah. You had the Aaron Sloan who went and played at UPI. There have been Damian Harris in the NFL. There have been so many kids that have came through this system that in your program that if you have helped reach their goals to the next level.
Dane Jackson.
Yeah,
still at North Texas right now.
So there's so many.
And so
good
many
ones.
of them came back this past week. They come every year. You have an alumni group come in.
And my favorite, I've always really been impressed with Tobias Storm. I know you had a big impact with him too, and just off the field talking to Tobias, and you could tell that your relationship with him meant a lot. Just talk about that, your players, and how hard it was to tell not only the ones that you have right now, but the ones that have gone on and are no longer with the program.
Yeah. Gosh, man, I've been so blessed with relationships with young men, and I think this is a part that, unless you're me, nobody gets that piece. Nobody gets to see what I've got to experience. Yeah. I've talked to so many of these guys. Like, Tobias was one of the first to know. I mean, he's like a son to me.
Yeah.
We talk like every other day. And I'm in the car. We talk for an hour while I'm driving. It just he's like the only one I trust to dog sit for me. I mean, he's an awesome kid. But Trey and I are close. I mean, you mentioned so many kids there that I'm still very, very close with. And
there's probably many more we're leaving out.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer Stone is one that was around early on. We've stayed very close, and Clayton Barnes. There's so many names. Justice Williams. There's some great players on that
you think
list.
11 years ago? I mean, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some that came back to be a part of the coaching staff, right?
Yeah, I was going to say too is the first two I talked to about this was Buddy Harrison and Jordan Castile. Buddy is on staff with us right now. Jordan is a young student assistant coach that we're kind of grooming and working with. And I let them know right away because they're there with me every day. Yeah. And I thought it was right to tell them. They need to know where I'm headed, where we're headed. And I'm glad I told them, and they've probably had a big part of all the alumni coming back around because they were like, hey, you want to come back this year. They're torn, a lot of them, but I tell them all the same thing. I'm not the program. Yeah. And I've said this for years. I was the steward of Madison Southern football for the last 11 years. This is not my program. This is Madison Southern's program. They entrusted it to me. It was my job to leave it in a better shape than I found it, and I'm doing that, and I feel great about how I've done that. And now it's time for them to pick who the next steward of it is. And I want these guys to understand that you've poured everything into this place. Whether I'm here or not, the program's not different. It's the same school. It's the same name. It's the same program. And I want them, to express that, I've talked to several of them. They're like, what do we do? I'm like, you need to have a voice in what goes on here. You need to go tell them what you want. Like, you built this. Yeah. I didn't build this. I kind of directed it, but they did it. I didn't play it down. Those kids built it. They come back. They're building it more now. So I think they absolutely need to take up their role in we are the foundation here. We don't have to sit back now. We can actually be involved in what goes on moving forward. And that's how it should be in any great program I've ever been around. The alumni have a very core of the program, no matter who the head coach is.
I want to tie into that question with Walter Smith, obviously getting hurt this year. And you and I have talked off. The kid does not get the credit that he deserves for how good of an athlete he is.
He's one of the best players that's ever walked through Madison County.
So let's talk about him and how difficult it was to see him go down this year.
It's hard for me to see him go down.
And I said it when we kept it on the news and everything else. That him not getting a chance to finish out his senior year is criminal because of how good of an athlete he's been his entire career.
And how important to the team he was.
Yeah, it's hard. But he's laying on the turf. And he's sitting there, and he's like, it's over. I felt it. It's done. And I just remember looking at him and saying, dude, you have nothing to prove to anybody. Yeah. Like, if there's ever a kid that the game can stop and he's accomplished everything he can accomplish, it's him. Yeah. I feel like we've let him down. I feel like Walt should have been on the list for Mr. Football this year, and we couldn't make that happen for him. And that, I don't carry many things. Like, I'm not a big rearview mirror guy. I'm a windshield type guy. I'm a look forward guy. Walt never became in the notice world of football that I feel he should have been. And, it's my team right now. That some of that's on me. People did a great job of trying to eliminate him this year, but they got tired of him whooping on them the last couple of years. So people were really keying him. Yeah. But what a great player. Yeah. Gosh, I mean,
good kid too.
He's quietly, like, you could argue he's the most valuable player that's ever been through this program. You could really have an argument for that.
His brother might argue with you.
I get asked that stuff. People ask me all the time which one was better. It's apples and oranges. But it's, gosh, what a tough conversation. Yeah. I'd love to have it with them one night.
Oh, for
Wouldn't
sure.
it be nice if they'd had like 15 more of those Smith boys coming through the program?
I'm sure the program would love it. Whoever does take over,
Yeah. And but they're a good example. Like, the Smiths, I mean, they were the first phone call I made when I took the job. I remember calling D. Smith and saying, I hear about your son. Trust me with him. And, man, they've trusted us with their boys all the way through. And they've been fantastic. They've let us coach them. They've let us push them. They've let us hold them accountable. And they've been awesome. I wish everybody would just drop your kids off on day one and say, have at 'em. We'll see you on senior night like they have. Especially when your kids are great players. It's hard for parents to do that. It's been great.
Well, one of the things that's always been important to you over the many years that we've been interviewing you is the middle school. You've always wanted that feeder program, and that is one thing that you have worked on and been trying to accomplish so that these kids don't get to high school and not know how to play football.
Yeah, and I think I was very misunderstood in the process. Looking back on it, there's going to be a lot of people that say, well, Clark failed because he didn't build the youth league, he didn't build the middle school. I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't for a lack of effort. I put my all into it. There's a lot of people that didn't want to hear what I had to say. Yeah. They didn't agree with my way of doing it, and that's their choice. But because of it now, the youth program is nowhere where it should have been, and I don't think the middle school programs have been consistent like they could have been. And it is what it is. There was a point a couple years ago where I just finally said, I got to take my hands off of this. I've tried everything I can. This is not becoming what I want it to be.
And I need to just
I got to focus on my team. Like I'm getting pulled a lot of different directions. Something's got to fall off the plate. There were periods like Clayton Barnes did a great job over there, and Doug Martin's done some really good things at times. I mean, there's been pockets of things. There's just never been any consistency through. I think there's too much of parents trying to get their kids at the same school together to stack teams. Yeah. That goes on in Richmond too. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious, but everybody lets it go on. In the youth league, like, man, I could go on about this forever, but like I was driving to the Ferris Town was playing Pineville in there 2 weeks ago, and I'm driving to the game, and we're driving by the park, and I start laughing. And my daughter, she's 11, she's playing soccer, and she says, "What are you laughing about?" I said, I could pull my hair out over the lack of people's bigger vision for youth. And she's like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, there's a baseball game going on here, there's a soccer game going on there, and we're going to a football game. Like, where in America did everybody forget you can play a sport for 8 weeks, give kids 2 weeks off, and then go to the next? 8 weeks, give them 2 weeks off. 10 weeks if you want, give them 2 weeks off, go to the next. But everybody's playing everything across each other, and so nobody can develop because you can't do football because you got to do fall ball, you got to do spring baseball, you got to do summer baseball. We used to play baseball in the summer.
Competitive team. Yes.
We used to do basketball in the winter, we used to do football in the fall, we do soccer in the spring, all four major sports, and I played all four. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, well, multi-sport athletes, people want to talk about it all the time, but let's be real. It's not getting a chance in America in youth sports anymore because your kid, how many kids do you know are playing two sports in Little League, and then by 9 or 10, they move to 1 or 2? Yeah. That's the fault of the adults running youth sports and the lack of everybody's ability to work together. How big would the youth football league be in Berea if there wasn't fall baseball? Yeah. If there wasn't basketball practice on Friday nights during football season, it could be huge. And then all those 150 kids would go to the next sport and go to the next sport. But nobody wants to talk about that.
Well, and they also say that's how kids get injured because they stick with that one sport at such a young age, and then they just repetitive.
Yeah, or you get worn down on that sport and you get tired of playing it. I mean, that's something I've seen a lot with a lot of kids kind of go through too. That
that was
they
my
just play
daughter
that
in
one
swimming.
sport, and then you're playing it all year long or all year round, and then you get tired of it.
That was her in swimming.
There were times with Cole where we all made the decision like he's not going to do that all-star team because we're going to take a break and be a kid for a while because I know what happens to kids that do this. They burn out. Our daughter's been frustrated with us at times because she wants to do travel soccer all the time. And for a while, we were like, no, you're not going to do travel soccer at this age because I know that doesn't result in you playing Division I soccer. Like, you need to be a kid for a while. And that leads to a love long-term if it's the right fit for them. But I hate to see them have to pick. It really bothers me.
Yeah. Well, Coach, last question before we let you go here.
We could have the whole show.
Well,
with you.
And you always talk about it.
I
we
always say that. We could have the whole show with you.
But
you'd have nobody listening though, so you don't want to do that.
That's not true. But I do. We got to have more than one question.
No, we got to move on, Burford. You always do that too. We got to move on.
Two.
You go first, then we'll wrap it up with my last
family.
One.
Let's talk about family. Like your biggest supporter, Erica. How did she take the news? I mean, this has been, coming, obviously. So tell me your thought process and how it all affected.
Sure. First off, I wouldn't be here. I mean, I stayed because I fell in love, and we have an amazing family.
You'd have left us a long time.
I mean, I just had different ambitions in my head. But meeting her changed everything for me. Like how blessed. have I been. She's been so supportive. I mean, people send my wife messages on Facebook saying, does the coach know this answer? Like, why do people do that? Like, that's the stuff a coach's wife deals with.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't know what's going on with the football program.
Right.
She's like every other parent that, I got to send her the calendar just like everybody else because we're never crossing paths but 5 a.m.
Right.
So, no, she's been very supportive.
Rain, snow, sleet.
You name
She's
it.
standing
She's
right
there.
there on that corner.
She's there. She hears all the people that badmouth the coaches in the stands. And if you know my wife will fight for the people she loves.
Yeah.
And my wife has had to bite her tongue on so many occasions. And it's easy for me because I remember when there wasn't anybody in the stands. There wasn't anybody in the stands a lot. So I can deal with it.
Yeah.
And I know they don't know what they're talking about. They're making a 2-second decision to say something. But for my wife, she could easily throw down in those situations. So she's had to really hold back on a lot of things. But, man, she's been supportive. The big decision first was stepping away from teaching.
Yeah.
And she saw the big picture. She knew what it was doing, so she was behind that. And then, it was probably about a month later, I said, what if this was the last season? We had a lot of talks about it before we kind of came to this point. But, I remember there was one time, like, her and Kate were going to one of Kate's soccer games, and I couldn't make it. And that bothers me.
Yeah.
I trained with my daughter all summer, and I looked at her and I said, at what point do, I get to pick my kids over everybody else's? Because I don't want to look back and have missed my kids.
And as a coach, you don't get to do that.
You don't get to do that. And so that's really what kind of led to it all was I want to be my kid's biggest fan now. I want to sit with my wife on Friday night and cheer for our son. I want to take her out to dinner on a date before the game. I don't want to have to schedule our anniversary anymore, which we got married during football season.
I know. We're still like, why did you do that?
It's so fun, though, but it always creates how are we going to do this
How
and
are we
like
gonna
something
make this
exciting during
work?
season. Yeah, but no, she's been nothing but supportive ever. She's fantastic. And our next adventure is around the corner. We're not sit around the house people. So there's exciting things coming for us. We know that.
Well, that's the last question. What's next for John Clark?
Yeah, so for me, I'm hanging up the whistle for a while. I'm going to train my kids. The world's a mess. And as a coach in a public school, I have to kind of bite my tongue about some stuff. I don't have to do that when it comes to my kids anymore. World's a scary place right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really screwed up messages going on. There's a lot of people telling us how we have to feel and why we have to feel that. I don't believe any of that. And I don't stand in front of my team and say all those things all the time because I'm not really supposed to. But I get to be the center of my household and direct my household with my wife and spend time with my family and cheer for my kids in the stands and question play calling. I get to do all those things, and our business is growing.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it too. Is we've got set goals where we want to be in 5 and 10 years with our business, and I still want to mentor kids. It's in my nature, it's in my heart. But I get to be selective about it now, and I will continue to do that. It just will be on my terms now.
John Clark, the all-time winningest coach at Madison Southern, state runner-up, regional championships, one of those, 3 appearances in the regional championship game, 5 district titles.
Last year we got pulled from it, and I thought we had a shot.
Yeah.
No, it's been great. There's been a lot of sacrifice from coaches, players, everything, administrators to make this happen.
If it hadn't been for COVID.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Well, Coach, as
We're
always.
We're going to say that about a lot of things.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been for COVID.
Thank you for always being so good to me and Samantha.
You guys have been
Absolutely.
awesome. I love being here.
We will miss you.
Hey, there might be room up on the booth now.
If y'all are looking for a,
he's going to replace me.
If you're all looking for
air.
an occasional, you've mentioned at times doing some sports radio stuff with a high school program, I'd be down with something like that.
Oh, you go. So he may not be done completely as far as the local.
I mean, football's in my blood. I've been doing it for 40 years, so I won't be able to quit.
You won't be able to get away.
But.
You can't quit cold turkey. That's got to be too hard.
I don't know, though, man. I'm kind of excited about spending time with my wife and kids. I'm not going to lie.
You're going to have more time to watch NFL.
I don't watch NFL.
Oh, man. You don't even watch Tom Brady?
If Cole has it on, I'll watch some stuff
Brady.
occasionally.
We all got to watch Tom Brady.
You just do it for so long, you need a break from it.
That's what.
Well, at least, you got to watch the Patriots.
Saturday I was watching a little bit of the Michigan State game.
That was
it was
great.
exciting.
That was a great game.
And we were getting ready to go to a wedding. One of my players got married. Brett Sipple got married.
Oh, okay.
So I was at the wedding, and I was like, this is crazy. But I looked at my wife and I said, I might become a college football fan again.
There you go.
I could see doing this
with
again.
With technology nowadays, like you can watch a game during church when you're not supposed
during
to.
The wedding.
I mean, during the wedding.
But the transfer portal makes it hard, man. I don't know who's where week to week.
True.
Man.
Yeah, that's one thing we talk with the Wills and everybody.
We have been to a wedding and UK basketball was on, and we sat there and watched it during the wedding. Well, Coach, we would look up and down.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
And anytime you want, if you want to come over and talk sports with us, my man, we got a spot open for you. Just let us know. All right, we'll kick Samantha out and bring you on
and
with us.
he would.
They're not going to kick you out. I guarantee that.
That's John Clark, folks, the all-time winningest coach at Madison Southern. But they're not done yet. They will be on the road this Friday against Woodford County, a really good Woodford County team. And good luck in that game, Coach, and we'll be rooting you on.
Appreciate
Let's
you guys.
step aside for a commercial break. We'll come right back here to Jack Burford Chevrolet on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Did you know you could pre-order your brand new Chevy at Jack Burford Chevrolet? It's easy. Just go online at jackburford.com or call us at 859-623-3350. Shop from the comfort of your home, office, or free Wi-Fi spot.
Folks, we have new trucks. How about this blacked out Chevy Silverado Trail Boss? What about these great Trail Bosses? Man, they're nice. Jack Burford Chevrolet, across from Walmart and Lowe's in Richmond, Kentucky.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Kokedek, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries the new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Here with Frank Parks, the head coach of the Berea Pirates. And, Coach, you guys wrapped up the regular season with a good win over Jellicoe, Tennessee. Just talk about how important that win was to give you guys some confidence and momentum heading into the postseason.
Well, it was very important. It was one of them games where we won ugly, had several TDs called back, blew a couple opportunities. So, you know, when you're able to get a win like that, even though you didn't play your best, you know, it shows some growth. So it was big going into the playoffs with a win.
When you look at the way your season has been, you've had a couple of games canceled with COVID, and you've had some injury issues. Talk about what it feels like when you, as the regular season wraps up, and you guys head into the postseason. When you look back at the year so far, how would you, I guess, grade your team on how things have turned out with all the stuff that you guys have had to kind of contend with going throughout the season?
Well, I would, we didn't win every game, but if I just gave them a grade, it'd be around that B range. It was good because we continue to grow as a team, even though we had important kids out in different games, and other kids stepped up and stepped in. So just the overall growth of the team, I think we have done well with that, and the next person stepping in and learning how to play the game and learning how to play their role and do their job. So I think all the players have gave great effort and continue to progress and have grown throughout the year.
One thing in covering sports here in Madison County over the last, 7 or 8 years that I've seen more consistently than anything is the fans at Berea love their team no matter what. And the support that's over there has been really impressive that I've seen. Even when you have a bad year, the fans are still out there supporting their players, supporting their team. What would you say as you look back on this season that has impressed you most with maybe the fans that have been able to go out there and cheer you guys on?
Well, like you said, they have been out there supporting us through the good and the bad, and always have been positive with the players, and always out there cheering the players on and giving them positive encouragement. And it's been games where we've fed off that energy, and it helped us. So the fans have done a great job coming out and support the program, and I'm thankful to have a bunch of people involved in the program like that.
You guys face KCD, Kentucky Country Day, one of the top teams in Class 1A in the first round of the playoffs. You guys didn't get to play them because of a COVID cancellation in the first game. So as you're getting ready for them this week, what are you guys trying to focus on to try to pull off? What would be an upset win because of, they're highly ranked in Class 1A?
Well, one thing is we preach, our fundamentals and doing your job. And defensively, we have to be fundamentally sound and disciplined and breathe the keys. There's some keys that some things they do that kind of let you know what they're going to do. So we have to be smart and play through our keys and trust our eyes and read and play fast defensively. And offensively, it's always been about us execute. Making sure we blocking the right person, making sure we have some balance where we're able to throw the ball enough to keep the teams honest, but continue to improve and our physicality in the run game, which I think has been pretty good for us throughout this year, is our ability to win most of the time at the line of scrimmage.
Did you know you could pre-order your brand new Chevy at Jack Burford Chevrolet? It's easy. Just go online at jackburford.com or call us at 859-623-3350. Shop from the comfort of your home, office, or free Wi-Fi spot.
Folks, we have new trucks. How about this blacked out Chevy Silverado Trail Boss? What about these great trail bosses? Man, they're nice. Jack Burford Chevrolet, across from Walmart and Lowe's in Richmond, Kentucky.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond.
We can't wait to see ya.
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries the new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Talking with Mike Holcomb, the head coach of the Madison Central Indians. And Coach, the regular season wrapped up this past Friday night. A tough game on the road against Southwestern. Now we turn our attention to the playoffs, and you've obviously had success in your career in the postseason. What have you guys been talking about as the regular season has come to an end and you gear up for the postseason?
Well, we want to take the things that we've learned and get positively out of the season. And I think our players did a lot of great things throughout the season. We've had a couple of rough games here on the very end. Two excellent football teams, both rated very high in the state in their classes and overall. And we just want to put the last couple of weeks behind us, and it's a fresh start. Everybody's 0-0 now. That's what we tried to really stress. Everybody's coming into these games with an even record, and it takes 5 games to win it, so it's a 5-game playoff, and we just want to get focused back to our positive things and use those things to make us play as well as we can.
Confidence has been one of the major things I've seen with this team all year long. They've had a ton of confidence. Have you seen anything kind of waver from that after these 2 losses to 2 really good football teams, as you said?
No, I think, like I said, sometimes when you play good football teams and, sometimes it's just 2 wheels against each other. And I think Brown Station game was so big. And, I think we may have had a little emotional our emotions may have been a little down going into last Friday's game. But, again, that goes back to me, responsibility. But with that being said, I thought we played as hard as we played Friday. Again, our defensive team played real well.
Yeah.
Offensively, we didn't do a great job, and that goes back to me. But we were in a field that had been rained on for a couple of days, and I'm not making excuses, but we just don't play on that anymore, and it affected us some. But defensively, our kids played their guts out. I talked to the coach a while ago. We played 65 snaps on defense. And they scored with about a minute to go before, a minute and a half to go right before the halftime. So, again, they played their guts out. We played super hard, and we were disappointed we lost. And that's the confidence that says a lot, because they expect to win every game, and that's big.
Now you look ahead to Oldham County this Friday, a team that you had your way with a couple of weeks ago in the regular season, but a dangerous football team that will be coming into Richmond this time for the game on Friday night. So when you look back at that game, obviously the offense ran well. You ran for over 300 yards in that game. Is that something that you guys will try to focus on as you go into this week preparing for Oldham County?
Well, we go into every game, what to do, the things we can do. We work on everything that we have in our offensive arsenal, and once we get into the game, we usually just do whatever we have success with, and so it will be a very dangerous game in my opinion. They're very well coached team. Probably going into the season, they were either one of the 2 favorites in the Brown Station, and because they have an outstanding quarterback there, a great athlete, and it'll be, it's going to be a big game. It's, this time of year, it's, in 6A, when you line up, records, and some of the things that's misleading when you look at records because you never know who's played. You got Trinity sitting over there with a 3-7 record or 3-6. It's probably one of the better teams in the state. So it just go back to, it'll be another different game, and we were able to do some things early that against Oldham County that our line blocked real well. Our defense played great again. Our running backs, everybody played well. So we just got to come out and be ready to play and play as hard as we can. And but it'll be a tough ball game,
So sitting at 7-3 as you enter the postseason in your first year as the head coach at Madison Central, when you took this job, back in the fall of last year or the winter time, would you have ever imagined that you would be sitting in this position as you go into the postseason?
Well, I guess I would have hoped so. I've been awful proud of our players and so happy for them. The senior class, has been And we got a lot of seniors. You know, we played quite a few seniors, along with a good mixture of young kids. But, you know, I'm awful proud of them. But, you know, we don't want to stop now. But maybe when it's all said and done, we can sit down and look at it. This time of year, you just don't have time. You know, it's from week to week. You know, like I told our kids after the game Friday, you know, let's put this on your mind and get ready for Oldham County. So maybe at the end of the year, we have to sit down and look and, you know, evaluate what we did. But I've been awfully proud of them, you know, of what they've done and what they've accomplished. We just want to keep going. We don't want to rest on that.
Did you know you could pre-order your brand new Chevy at Jack Burford Chevrolet? It's easy. Just go online at jackburford.com or call us at 859-623-3350. Shop from the comfort of your home, office, or free Wi-Fi spot.
Folks, we have new trucks. How about this blacked out Chevy Silverado Trail Boss? What about these great Trail Bosses? Man, they're nice. Jack Burford Chevrolet, across from Walmart and Lowe's in Richmond, Kentucky.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see ya.
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries a new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins here with you. Samantha, we got the Cottle Middle School volleyball team set to join us here in just a few moments. But first, got to recap what Kiera O'Shea did over the weekend. No surprise, another state championship for Kiera, her fourth now, and she's only a junior, Samantha. So the accolades just keep piling up for Kiera O'Shea.
She was so fast. Like the second place runner was almost a minute behind her. So that's just an impeccable time, incredible athlete. And now, I mean, how can you not set your goals for, you know, she won her first one as an 8th grader. Yeah. So how can you not set your goal that you want to win 5 in a row?
You know, I think for Kiera, and I said this on the newscast today during the sports segment, you look at the history of Madison County sports, and we've had a lot of really talented players. Or athletes. I think she has now become one of the most decorated athletes, student athletes, to ever compete here in Madison County. Not only just Madison Central, as in the county as a whole, because of what she has done. 4 state championships, and she's only a junior. So, I mean, it's like she's obviously going into next year as a favorite. But not only has she won them all, she's gotten better each year, increasing her time between her and second place every single year. So she just keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we got to give kudos to the whole team because they came in 10th place overall. So they've got a great group that's going to be coming right in behind her. So kudos to them. And then a shout out to Brady Masters. He took a tumble. Yeah. He was leading most of the race for the state, you know, because he's won quite a few accolades himself already. So he ended up coming in 7th place, I believe. But the boys' team came in 16th place. So pretty excited for him. And, I mean, he got up, finished the race, ended up 7th place. That is still incredible.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at track and cross country, the teams here in Madison County. Southern's had some good athletes. We've seen Buzz Carson, who's a really tremendous athlete. He's going to be doing some big stuff too. Been getting all these looks from all these big colleges. Kiera's the same way. I mean, she is an amazing athlete and just keeps on getting better. That's the big thing with her. So
and if
congratulations.
it would have been football, if they would have won, 4 state titles in a row,
Oh, exactly.
just think
That's
how
what I'm saying.
we'd be doing pep rallies for them. Now, she will get acknowledged probably at a football game or at a basketball game. They will bring her and her family out, the team out. She'll get acknowledgement, but
I
it's
don't
not
think
like,
anybody
it's the whole
realizes
school.
how impressive that is to win 4 state championships. That means you're better than everybody else in the entire state. So congratulations.
She's gonna have those banners in the gymnasium.
And she was a Gatorade Player of the Year. I mean, she just.
That's
the
right.
accolades are just piling up for Kiera O'Shea.
That's right.
Congratulations
She's gonna be able
to her.
to choose whatever college she wants to go to.
Well, folks, we got one more commercial break. We'll take it now. When we come back, we'll be joined by the Cottle Middle School Spartans, the volleyball team. Coach Janet Thacker, who taught me everything I know about volleyball, and half of it I already forgot. So we'll bring Janet on and her team when we come back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Did you know you could pre-order your brand new Chevy at Jack Burford Chevrolet? It's easy. Just go online at jackburford.com or call us at 859-623-3350. Shop from the comfort of your home, office, or free Wi-Fi spot.
Folks, we have new trucks. How about this blacked out Chevy Silverado Trail Boss? What about these great trail bosses? Man, they're nice. Jack Burford Chevrolet, across from Walmart and Lowe's in Richmond, Kentucky.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then, in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cupcadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond.
We can't wait to see ya.
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries the new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
We're back here live on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, now joined by the Cottle Spartans 8th grade team and Janet Thacker, the Bill Belichick of middle school volleyball here in Madison
Of all
County.
volleyball,
I know.
yeah.
I can't
volleyball.
stand that man, and you have to say his name.
Well, I mean, it's
Don't say that that's
Is
fighting
Nick
words for
Saban
him.
Better? Is that better? Or?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
well, so
better.
we'll call you the Nick Saban of middle school volleyball here in Madison County. We got Emily Steele, Aubrey Donald, and Malia Mitchell here with us as well. And, Coach, tonight was your first practice, so you guys are getting right into it and coming off another good year last year. I mean, just talk about this program and what you all have been – what's 15 now? Is that what you've got? Or conference championships?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive what you've been able to do with the program.
They want to put banners up, and I'm like, I don't think the banner's big enough. Anyway.
It needs to be longer.
We are actually 2 weeks late. Other schools have already started but where I was coaching high school, I couldn't get here in time. So we just had our tryouts on Saturday. Tonight is our first practice. And I took more girls than I've ever taken before. I had to turn away girls. I hate turning away girls.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it, but I can't work with. I took 29 girls.
Oh, wow.
29 girls.
That's for all 3 teams?
All 3 teams.
Okay. So you look at what, so you talked about you coaching high school now. So talk about that, where you were at there.
I coached Bourbon County High School my first year. We were in the semifinals of the region, which was the first time ever. We beat Harrison County for the first time in 23 matches, 18 years.
Wow.
So
we'll talk to the girls now, Samantha. I mean, we got Aubrey here, and I love your dad, and you got an older brother, and Elijah still playing quarterback at Central. Your brother plays wide receiver and cornerback at Central. So you all obviously have got sports as in your
Athletes.
family. Yeah.
Definitely.
So are you a better athlete than your dad?
Well, he played football for
He did
UK.
play football. Yeah, so I'm
So,
I mean, you can
I
say
don't really
yeah.
know
I think
about
it's all
that.
right.
You can say yes.
Yeah.
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Go
Are you a better
for it.
athlete than your,
For sure.
brother? Okay, and same thing with you? Better
Yeah.
athlete than yes. Yeah, I love the confidence. But you all obviously know how good of a coach she is, and you've played for her before. So, whenever you come in to practice, tonight was your first night, what was the mood like as you are at practice for the first time?
Definitely family, since we've played with each other for like a long time. We kind of just have like a instant like click, and we know like what to do.
Yeah.
We always are welcoming the incoming 6th graders in so they feel part of it and they just aren't confused.
Yeah, we try to be like as supportive as we can and like help them. If they don't know something, then we tell them what to do and just kind of guide them through it.
Coach, you mentioned that you're starting 2 weeks later than some of the other middle schools. Did you feel like tonight during the first practice that you were 2 weeks behind? Did it feel...
not really. We've had 4 or 5 open gyms, and I run them like a practice. So technically we've had some practices, just not as the whole team. We had them with 50-some kids.
Wow. Yeah. So it didn't feel like, oh, you're starting over.
No, but they are going to learn a whole bunch more new stuff that I've learned too. So,
uh-oh, girls.
Well, if you learn something new, that means you got to teach it to me.
Okay.
Because, I did miss you being on the call with me this year, obviously. But you look at what you've been able to do, staying busy. Now, how difficult was it to drive from Richmond to Paris every night?
it was this, to Paris it wasn't bad, but try to go to Robertson County or Bracken County, that was a struggle.
I can see that. Those are long trips.
Yep.
So, girls, what has Coach told you? I mean, again, you've all played for her before, but what has she told you as you all enter this season?
Well, she's kind of told us to like step up as a leader and definitely try to like help with teaching the 6th graders like the basics and all that kind of stuff.
These 2 played for the high school team. Yeah, she played basketball for the middle school, but these 2 played volleyball for the high school.
So all 3 of you are in shape. I mean, if you've gone from one team to the next, so it's not like you're starting from 0 and like, oh my gosh, I got to try to get in shape for volleyball.
Yeah, and you look at what Central was able to do this year in volleyball. You all had a great season.
Yeah.
You got the district championship for the first time in a couple of years. So what was that like, being an underclassman and kind of seeing the success that the high school team had this year?
Well, I think that our varsity team has definitely like stepped up from last year because they won like 4 times as many games as they did last year. So it was kind of fun and like exciting to see how much they've grown.
Yeah, there's multiple things that we can learn from watching them play, and we can bring it back and teach it to our 8th graders so we can become better players.
What about you? I mean, with basketball, now jumping into volleyball, what's the biggest difference as you change sports?
I mean, I don't really think there's obviously a difference in the sports, but like, I think I was still doing volleyball while I was doing basketball, so I didn't really like get out of doing volleyball. And I was like doing stuff with the high school, and so I learned some stuff from there, and I was still in shape from like that volleyball.
So with today being the first practice, when's the schedule? Tell us about that.
Our first game is November 15th at Garrett.
And I've got 22 games on the schedule this year, so it's probably double what we had last year in COVID world.
Right.
So.
Any games that you're looking forward to?
Clark Moore's.
Yeah, Clark Moore's definitely.
I figured that was
rivalry. I'm assuming.
And for me, it's Scott County because that's a step up.
Yeah.
And that's why I schedule Scott County, because they're usually the best of the best, them in Royal Springs. So I want them to be able to gauge that.
Scott County, I used to live there,
Ah,
so
okay.
it's like a personal thing for me.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I
Little
always look
revenge
forward
game,
to
right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we beat them last year for like the first time in my years, and it was definitely exciting.
Well, Coach, you've been coaching for a while, and you've seen volleyball become bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you think that as you all enter this season, as far as the conference goes, that's where you all kind of base? Is there going to be a lot of competition this year within the conference itself?
There always is, and from the start to the finish is so different because the girls see so many different balls, different teams, different things thrown at them. Hopefully they go outside the conference and play some other teams as well. But Clark Moore's always, Ferristown, our two biggest rivals, and then Foley likes to sneak up on you at the end of the year. They do that every year.
Well, I think whenever you look at what you all have been able to do here, consistency has been the big thing with Cottle volleyball. So when you all begin this season, what are you looking forward out of the gate? What are you looking for to kind of give you an idea of how good this team can be?
We got to find a setter. We got to find two setters. We have two setters who set 7th grade. We have one that sets 8th grade, but I want to run a certain offense so that I can have more hitters on the floor because I have lots of hitters. So I have one young lady who played some club as a setter, so I'm hoping she steps up. Josie Campbell? Josie Campbell? I hope she steps up and can fill that role on the 8th grade team as well.
What positions do you guys play? What do you like?
I'm really whatever she tells me to be.
All around, libero.
Okay, that's an important position too. She's taught me all about the libero. So you're very important. So I'm sure she's told you how important the libero is.
She knows.
Yeah. And that wears this specific colored jersey. So go, girl. Like, everybody's going to be watching you.
Well, Janet, so we know about the middle school team that you've got here. Talk about Taylor. I know she's playing, and they got some big wins this year. Had a really good season.
They beat Lindsey Wilson when they were ranked in the top 25, and then they kind of hit a wall and went down a couple of games, and they're coming back up now. She's struggling with her shoulder. She's going to have to get back into PT. She's lost some range of motion, but she's still playing. Taylor will play through anything.
Well, and you have a love for that, and obviously that's been her number one thing since she was little. So I don't know if that her mom had anything to do with that or not, but I think that you can see that. So how much longer is their season going to go?
Their conference tournament is November 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Okay, so it's coming up pretty soon then.
Yeah, and they've already won enough games to where they'll go to the NCCAA championship in Missouri. Okay. So they'll have that option as well.
So girls, Michael said it, volleyball has become so popular. I'm sure you guys were enamored watching the UK National Championship volleyball team. Did you guys watch their whole season last year, and have you been participating watching, their season this year?
I've watched a few games this year, but I watched more last year.
Yeah.
I definitely watched more games last year and 6th grade year, and I probably, since I think we all went to the UK volleyball camp, where we got messages from their players, and it was really inspiring.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you get to go to the games? Do you have time away from school and practice to go? Because even here at EKU, they have a fantastic
good
volleyball and beach volleyball here.
I don't
Not
go
really.
You don't have time to go.
They watched from 2020. They were able to watch a lot because no one was going anywhere.
Right.
Now they can go and do their own things. Basketball, their brothers play, so they're going to that. So everybody's got more stuff to do. But
Well, so before we let you go, if somebody would like to maybe watch Cottle this year, is there a way they can maybe get involved, follow you all along during the season?
we have a Facebook page. I'm not sure if we're going to air or not. Usually, Hollis, Raleigh Hollis's dad, Kevin Hollis, will air them on Facebook Live. If anybody's interested, I am wanting to start a youth program because we have 12 6th graders that have never touched a volleyball in their life. So I'm trying to get the youth, 8, 9, 10, 11, into volleyball so I don't have to recreate the wheel every
Does
year.
that sound familiar?
Yeah, yeah.
Coach Clark, we were just talking about that
yeah,
with
the youth
football.
programs,
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think it just goes to show we've got so many awesome coaches here locally that care about the kids, and you obviously do because
And you
want to
keep building the program up.
And I want them to play in high school. I want them to play in college.
Yeah.
But if they choose to play basketball, I want her to play basketball. I don't care. I just want them to do something.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming over. We'll be keeping up with you. And, I mean, last year we were able to come out there and do those conference championships games. We'd love to get the chance to come out and maybe do a call game.
Make
or two
sure your
this year.
brothers watch today, okay?
Yeah,
And your dad.
I'm going to talk to Elijah and Anderson.
Mhm.
But listen, guys, your sisters were out there, bad mouthing you on the broadcast. So you got to come out there and make a big play on the football field. So, well, Janet, we appreciate you bringing them over, and good luck this season.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks, that's it for the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show tonight. Thank you to all of our great sponsors, for Samantha Burford, John Clark, and these lovely ladies as well. We'll see you next time on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.